All right, listen up. Today, we're diving into the most overused, overhyped, misunderstood spreadsheet sorcery in all of finance: discounted cash flow analysis, DCF, the golden goose of valuation methods, the Swiss Army knife of MBA flexes, the thing every investment banker puts in a pitch deck, even if they're secretly just control seeing it from last week's model. DCF is the method you use when you want to act like you didn't just decide a stock is cool because it has a clean logo and a charismatic CEO on Twitter. It's when you want to pretend you're making a data-driven decision, while deep down, still going off pure vibes. But it does have real value if you don't butcher it. So let's break it down, step by step. How to do a full-on discounted cash flow analysis. This is the ultimate guide to valuing a business using money it hasn't even made yet. Basically, how to price a fantasy responsibly. Step 1, understand the goal. Before you even touch Excel, ask yourself, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to estimate the intrinsic value of a business, not based on hype, not based on headlines, based on how much cash it'll throw off in the future and what that's worth today, because $1 in your hand now is better than $1 5 years from now. That future dollar might get eaten alive by inflation, taxes, poor management, or your own stupidity. So we discount future cash flows to get the present value. Hence the name, discounted cash flow. Think of it like dating. They seem perfect now, but 5 years from now they might pivot into crypto and ruin Thanksgiving. Step 2, forecast the free cash flows. Now we get to the fun part, forecasting cash flows, aka guessing, but with spreadsheets and way too much confidence. You usually forecast 5 to 10 years into the future, because if you go past 10, you're just writing Harry Potter fanfiction with financials. Here's what you need: revenue, sales baby; growth rates, realistic, not Tesla 2012 delusion; operating margins, how profitable are they actually; capex, money needed to upgrade, fix, or expand the biz; changes in working capital, aka why do we suddenly have no cash? Subtract all that from operating cash flow and you get free cash flow, FCF. That's the money the business has left over at the end of the day. Money that could be paid out to investors, used to pay down debt, or hoarded like a dragon guarding gold. This is the cash that actually matters, because earnings can be manipulated, revenue can be inflated, but free cash flow, that's the real, is this business actually printing money? Playing as one filter. Step 3, choose your discount rate. You've got your future cash flows. Now you need to discount them, which means we're asking, what return do I need to make this investment worth it? If it's super risky, you'll want a higher return. If it's stable and boring, like a utility or Warren Buffett, lower returns okay. This is where the infamous WACC comes in, weighted average cost of capital. WACC combines the cost of debt, how much interest the company pays on loans, and the cost of equity, how much return investors want for buying the stock, weighted by how the company is financed. If 70% of the company is funded by equity and 30% by debt, you weight each part accordingly. It's basically saying, how much does it cost to keep this business funded on average? And here's the key, WACC becomes your discount rate. So all those future cash flows, we now take each year's FCF and divide it by 1 plus WACC to the power of the year. Year 1, FCF 1 plus Watt 1. Year 2, FCF 1 plus SCLO, and so on. You're just dragging those future dollars back to the present like you're dragging yourself to work on Monday. Step 4, calculate terminal value, aka Fantasyland. All right, you forecasted 5 to 10 years of free cash flow. But here's the thing, businesses don't just die after year 10, unless it's FTX or MoviePass. So we need to estimate what the business is worth beyond that forecast period. And that's called the terminal value. This is where 70% plus of your total DCF value will come from. No pressure. You've got 2 main methods. Our 1, perpetuity growth model. You assume the company grows at a steady, boring grandma level rate forever, like 2 to 3%. You take the final year's cash flow and plug it into terminal value equal final year FCF 1 plus G through R minus G, where 90G is the growth rate. Keep it humble, you're not projecting TikTok. R is your discount rate, baby. This model is clean, simple, and basically says, I think this company turns into a slow-growing money printer forever. 2, Exit multiple method. You look at what similar companies are worth and say, I bet someone will buy this company for, say, 10x EBITDA. So if your company's EBITDA in year 10 is $100 million, your terminal value is $1 billion. This is the bro science method of DCF. Still useful, but based on comps, not fundamentals. Either way, you now have your terminal value. And guess what? You also discount that back to today, because even the money you think you'll make in the future isn't worth full price today. Step 5, add it all up. So here's what you've got. Discounted year 1 FCF, discounted year 2 FCF, discounted year 10 FCF, discounted terminal value. Add them all together, and that total is your enterprise value. Subtract debt, add cash, divide by shares outstanding. And now you've got your equity value per share. Boom. You've officially completed a full-blown discounted cash flow analysis. You're now certified to argue with strangers on Reddit about stock prices. But wait, here's why DCF might still be trash. Let's be honest, DCF is only as good as the BS you put into it. If your inputs are trash, your output is trash. This is what finance people call GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. You forecasted 12% revenue growth for the next decade because of a vague market expansion opportunity? Cool. You just added $6 billion of fake value to your model. You lowered your WACC by 1% because it made the model look nicer? You just unlocked another $2 billion. Congrats, you're an Excel magician now. DCF can be massively sensitive to tiny changes. Change one number, and suddenly the company is worth half, or double, which is great for justifying literally anything to your boss, but terrible if you want to be taken seriously. That's why real analysts run something called a sensitivity analysis. You change the input slightly and see how crazy the output gets. If your model starts bouncing around like a crypto coin after a tweet, maybe slow down. Final thoughts, use the DCF, but don't marry it. So here's the truth. DCF is powerful. It's a beast. It forces you to think long term, to dig into the guts of a business. To say, does this company actually generate cash, or am I just hypnotized by the branding? But it's not perfect. It's one tool in the toolbox. So run your DCF, see what the value looks like, compare it to the market price. But don't act like it's gospel, because at the end of the day, you're building a financial version of fan fiction, just hopefully with a happy ending. Now go, open Excel, forecast some cash, run that WACC. And remember, if your model says GameStop is worth $3,000 per share in 2035, maybe go outside and touch grass. Peace.